Okay, it was a real fight to the finish between you and Tony Hawk at Del Mar, and I know that you're really disappointed not winning it, but they got rid of the head-to-head. Do you think you have a better chance now this time?
Well, right now my ankle got shot in Hawaii. I was on a Hawaii trip, and it's not really, I pulled tendons, so I'm not really up to par right now. So I'll be coming back probably at Virginia Beach, but I'm going to enter here for points, do as good as I can, hopefully make the cut.
Who's the guy to beat then here today?
I'd say Chris Miller, Lester Hosoi. They're about the hardest ones to beat. If Lance makes his McFlip, he'll be right up there with the top.
Hey, thanks a lot, Chris.
No problem.
Okay, let's see Christian's run. He's hurt. Rolling in. Oh, nothing. Another box over here. Smithford. Oh, first I grind the tail. You see those rock and roll. Mute air, rock wall, body drop. He's hurt. He's getting good. Ooh, fronts that eye to gap. Oh, good run, Christian. 1985. Good morning. Mr. B here. It's Sunday, January 21st, and I hope everybody is doing well. Today is a pretty important day for the guy we're going to talk about. I'm redoing this video because I wasn't really happy with the other one, and I'll get into that. But I want to talk about redemption. And the person I'm going to talk about is Christian Hosoi, born October 5, 1967, right after the Summer of Love. He goes by the nicknames Christ or Holmes. His father was of Japanese descent from Hawaii, fairly accomplished artist, really good artist. And his mother was from European descent. But Christian grew up in Los Angeles and Hawaii. He was really tight with his dad. I think that played a really key role in his development as a person and as a skateboarder. His father, I'm a Pops Hosoi, managed Marina Del Rey skate park, and that's where Christian basically grew up, just there all the time skating. He had the long flowing hair. He grew his hair out to emulate his hero Shogo Kubo, like one of the original Dogtown guys. And he was just there all the time. If you see videos of him, he's already got a really good style, just ripping, going high, and he's really, really tiny. And just like seeing those videos of Steve Caballero at Winchester, how small he was, they already had their styles in place, which is just pretty incredible to the amount of talent that they had. And Christian had he had the raw talent, just like Steve Caballero did. His early sponsors, 1979, he got on Powell Peralta. I don't know how long he was with them. Soon after he got on Dogtown, they eventually went out of business, and he was skating for he had really wanted to be a part of that old school crew, you know, the guys that ripped Dogtown, and Tony Alva, you know, some of those guys, like I mentioned, Shogo Kubo, Jay Adams, just he liked those old school hardcore guys. So eventually when he was 14, he got on Sims, and I think that's when he got his Rising Sun model that had the you know, basically the Japanese flag that you'd see on Zeros, you know, in World War II. It was a pretty cool design. That was the traditional shape. When he got on Alba, he designed a board he called, well, I don't think he called it the Fish then. It was his pro model that had his name on it. And it had a notched tail. And instead, back then, you know, boards were egg-shaped for the most part. They were usually 10.5 inches wide, but I'm really not quite sure how long they were. But they were all just not a lot of concave and everything. But this design he came up with had that notched tail because he liked to go up and do tail taps. And that was like one of his tricks. And he could go up, you know, stall on that notch in the tail and then come back in. But at some point, he got into some kind of dispute with, he had entered into the thing with Alba with the intentions of forming his own company eventually. But I still don't quite understand about that disagreement with Alba. But Alba eventually came out with the Alba Fish, which was basically the same shape that it had Christian's name on it. And now it had Alba's logo as on the bottom with some, you know, kind of crude airbrush artwork by this guy named Mondo. So that led to the Hammerhead, and the company formed Hosoi skateboards. Now I have one. It was in the icon of my former video, and it was the last board that I was riding. I had it set up. It was a white Hammerhead reissue with Indy 169s and some 85A wheels. I'm not sure what kind of wheels they were, but I mainly just cruised on it. You know, soft wheels, just going fast down hills, and you know, and I left that board over at somebody's house and it disappeared. So I'm not too happy about that. Christian wasn't really as stylish and as powerful as he was. He wasn't the most inventive skaters. Even Tony Hawk says that. But he did come up with a couple of tricks. The Rocket Air. You know, you go up and do a backside air, put both feet on the tail, put both hands on the nose, and it looked like a rocket blasting off. That was pretty cool. And the Christ Air, which was named after his nickname, it was basically an airwalk, backside air, where you'd outstretch, you know, his arms and pull his legs together and form the shape of the cross and then come back in. He and Monty Nolder did really good back then, Christ Airs. So, you know, like I've spoken in other videos, the 80s boom, you know, he was making six figures, partying, you know, buying his friends' clothes, hanging out in Hollywood, going around, you know, different clubs in Hollywood. He was jet setting, he was traveling the world, everybody knew him, he knew everybody. You know, actors, writers, all different kinds, people from walks of life. Christian Hosoi, you know, he's going to be, he just was the man about town or whatever. And it was a crazy time, making a ton of money and just spending it on clothes, and that was like one thing that kind of turned me off about Christian. He wasn't one of my favorite skaters, but he tended to wear ripped up shirts, spandex, really tight, nut hugging shorts, and he had gotten hair extensions like later on. It's just not something I was into. So skateboarding had started dwindling, and most of the contests were always, it would be down to Tony Hawk and Christian Hosoi head to head in a final jam.
Christian Hosoi right now psyching himself up for what has to be one of the bigger runs of his day. This is it, man. This is the final round. If you're gonna do anything, you're gonna do it now, because Christian has to lose twice and Tony's gotta beat him. So this is it. After this, it's history. Christian going for the jugular right here. Christian Hosoi. Airwalk. Uter. High in the air. Front side. Yeah. Ramp transfer. Oh, the even method in it. Skating the little ramp like it was big. After this, it's over. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Slide and roll. Yeah. Madonna. Yeah. McTwist. Yeah. That's it. And that's time for Christian Hosoi. What a ripping run. Let's go, Christian. Let's hear it. Yeah. Strong run. Definitely one of the hottest runs put out today. Tony Hawk right now. 92 for Christian Hosoi.
92.
92. Put up.
It all comes
Ready to
down
drop
to
in.
this.
Tony Hawk, Kyle Peralta. Let's hear it for Tony Hawk. Woo! McTwist. All right. Yeah, come on, let's hear some noise. Snailfish. Ollie bird slide. Airwalk fakie. Sad Algario. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Oh, sick. Backside tail slide. Varial end. Varial invert. Setting up for one last trick. That's time. 720. He's on it. That is time.
And as it started dwindling, Christian unfortunately got into crystal meth a little bit, and I don't think he became strung out until later on. It didn't really seem to affect his ability to skate until like later on. He would just hole up in his hotel and miss demos, and he wasn't really skating like he could. But one of Jeff Gross's love letters, he was talking about Christian on tons of meth at Chicken's Bowl. And the photo, I'm not sure if Mofo or Grant Britton took it, but, and by the way, Grant, thank you for sending me the photos that I'm using in this video. I appreciate it. He was doing like a 8-foot tweak nose down in the air, according to Grosso, his own meth. But that meth habit led him to had some failed business adventures or ventures with Milk skateboards, Focus skateboards. None of that was doing well. Street skating had come into, and Christian was a pretty good street skater. I mean, he would hang out in Venice with all those jump ramps, and I mean, I think he was just having a lot of fun. He didn't care what he was doing. He didn't take it all that seriously, but he could see that, you know, the street skating as we know it, you know, the pioneers like Mark Gonzalez, Tommy Guerrero, Nadas, those guys had sort of paved the way for the world industry thing that modern skateboarding evolved into and sort of took over the industry. So at some point he got busted in at Honolulu International Airport in Hawaii, and he had 2.5 pounds of crystal meth on him. So he gets arrested, and he's facing, and this was in 2000, I believe, and he's facing 10 years. So he's like, what am I gonna do? You know, these people know who I am. He said that in Rising Sun, the documentary. I recommend watching that, and I'll put the link down at the bottom of his life. I don't want to spoil anything about, given the rundown of the story. I just think it's important because Christian did get his life back. So he was facing 10 years, he's in prison, and someone, it might have been a cellmate, the guy in the cell next to him, hands him a Bible. So he starts reading, the Bible, and got really, you can say what you will about people that are incarcerated or born again. Same thing happened, well, Gator sort of converted to Christianity or whatever, wasn't practicing any of it, because look what happened to him. But he started reading the Bible and really getting into the message. And so through, I guess, appeals efforts to Christian's lawyers, Tony Alva, Tony Hawk, the Alva crew, Dave Duncan, a lot of people in the industry kicked down money for his appeals, and he was released in 2004, and his girlfriend had waited on him to get out, and he wanted to carry, the skateboarding message, carry it on, and bring a faith-edged element to his skateboarding. Incorporating that. And Steve Cavalier is a Christian. He likes to bring faith into it. Lance Mountain too. Although I don't think he's as adamant about it. When Christian got out, he eventually became like an ordained pastor, and he married Jennifer Lee and had 4 sons. James, Rhythm from a previous relationship, Classic, and Endless, Hosoi, and they skate and they rip. It's really good to see that Christian was able to be a good dad when he got out, and he could skate with his kids, and he's skating with everybody, and he's still tearing it up, skating Tony Hawk's ramp, skating a lot of concrete, and may not be going as high as he used to, but it doesn't matter. I mean, he loves skateboarding, and that's really what it's all about. I'm really proud of him, for getting that redemption and making it back and carrying the positive message to skateboarding. So hats off to you, christianhosoi. And as always, stay tuned, and I'll see you later.